Hey everybody, welcome back to Stereoscope Rewind, the podcast where we talk TV, movies, and this week, bring all the tissue. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Amy.
Oh man, what a week. What a show. Holy moly.
You knew it.
I kind of did. I could feel it. He is the problem. He is the problem.
Fine.
I know you're not happy. But,
Fine.
But okay, in my defense, to help you out, he did not leave that night. So I think we're going to get a whole nother season of Carmy
figuring it out
the
with
restaurant together. Because he kept saying, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out.
That's just going to leave you guys in the lurch.
And he's not going to just leave him in a lurch. But yeah, we will. We're just going to get right into it because this episode was, it was fast. And it was a small episode with a lot happening. I loved how they made the episode so tiny.
I was sad it was only 30 minutes.
Right. I've appreciated this season because of like how I love how they're starting to fight with each other and just saying everything needs to be said, even if they talk over each other. They're just getting it out, like get everything out.
What was your overall feeling of this episode?
Oh, I enjoyed it because I feel like everyone needed to yell at everybody. We finally needed some truth and not any of like the fluff. I feel like a lot of the fights between Carmy and Richie have been surface level. And none of it has been anything they actually care about or what they've been saying. So you could tell like when he was all mad at him and he got like in his face, it was, and then finally once Richie calmed down, it was like he was telling things that like you're like, oh, that makes sense. And he was saying like, I thought it was my fault. And I thought you were mad at me because I let him down. And I was like, oh.
They've just been projecting this whole season and not actually saying anything.
100, yeah, totally. I mean, I totally agree with you. I feel like everyone has just been kind of like they've been making it up. So, and I loved Sydney and how she was kind of freaking out. But I did love that Carmen knew. Like we knew from the phone call that Carmy knew the whole time. And she thought she was being so sneaky. And he was just like, I've known him for years. Like they worked together. Like, they're old friends.
Yep.
They're not friends, or at least they know each other.
They're colleagues.
They're colleagues. They've known each other a long time. They've been in the weeds together. So like, yeah, of course he's gonna call him and check in on it and find out what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was shocked by the episode in the sense that I did not see that episode coming.
No.
I wanted like a kitchen and they're kicking butt and everything's going well or at least they're looking like they're coming together. But I guess we got that more in the last episode. So
we did. And he even said like everyone's gelling. This is the right team now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I thought it was super intense. I love that they shot it all in that little, like, we haven't been in there yet, but I guess.
Oh, yeah, we have. It's the backyard area where they smoke and the fences and the dumpsters.
Well, I assumed it was in that area, but this is some kind of little shack that I didn't recognize.
No.
I figured it was in the back of the restaurant, but I don't remember ever being inside of that.
Yeah, they've done some scenes in there.
Have they? Okay. Well, maybe.
Yeah, remember the scene where Maggie's trying to walk with his hands?
Yeah.
That's that little area.
Oh, it looked like they were inside.
Well, I mean, to pull the curtain back a little on the episode, I have a feeling that was built on a stage.
Oh,
it was
okay.
They were in the backyard. They were in the back of the restaurant. Like,
sure.
But to save money and also to control the lighting and to stay, it's just easier on stage to shoot things. I have a feeling they built that on site. That's why it felt indoors because it's very hard to recreate outdoors indoors.
Okay.
Because outdoor has like for some reason when you shoot outside, there's atmosphere in the air. Just being outside, the temperature. Sometimes you can see their breath. It just felt very stagnant and quiet in that spot because you never heard the city around you. So,
no.
And you would have heard the city, at least cars going by and stuff. And they didn't add any of that in post. They made the scene feel very intimate and in a hole, like the city didn't exist. So, but I kind of thought about that the whole time where there was no atmosphere. So I'm like, oh, they must have. So my production brain would try not to do that too much because I just want to enjoy the show. But my production brain was like, oh yeah, they built that on stage because they never went above the fence shooting. The fence was taller than everyone.
Yep.
and everything. And even when they turned around on Richie coming out the door, like that wall was really long. Like they kind of, they were on a stage.
You think that was one camera?
Oh yeah, let's just a one camera show. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's called a one camera show when there's no audience.
Okay.
So it doesn't mean they don't have scenes where they use 2 or 3 cameras, but
Mm-hmm.
that's rare. Most of the time, it's just one camera.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's because so when you see a scene with 2 people, like in a restaurant, and they're talking like this, they shoot the whole scene this way, and then they turn around on it, and they shoot the whole scene again going the other way.
So they're not. Oh, so they are responding to each other, but
yeah, the
they
actors
only
are
film
there.
one person and then they
Yep.
shoot it again from the other. Oh,
Yep.
interesting. Okay.
And then sometimes to save time, if it's a scene like at a restaurant where they're sitting at a table and they can put 2 cameras, I'll get my fingers out of the way. The actors are like here, they can put 2 cameras kind of like this. So they can shoot both ways, but then you have to make both sides of the scene lit and prepared from the background. And sometimes that's too hard because there's too much going on behind them. So you can't shoot both ways.
Well, and I'm assuming that's a real kitchen, seems like, or at least the space is a real kitchen type
Which
thing.
one?
So it's probably the Bear. So it's probably hard to fit 2 cameras in there anyway.
Well, I mean, I don't know how they do it, and every show is different, and they probably use a practical kitchen when they're on location. But they have built that kitchen somewhere else just for time and effort.
Got it.
Because
okay.
being on stage is like the easiest and quickest way to shoot anything. Being on location is always hard. It's just because there's the public, there's the weather, there's noise, there's all these things you can't control. When you're on stage, you can control everything. When you're on stage, you can be 10 a.m. in the morning for 14 hours. You don't have to fight the sun. So if the scene's if it's like a morning scene or a breakfast scene, when you're on stage, the sun will stay in the same spot for 14 hours. Where on real life, if you're shooting a morning scene and there's a sun coming through the window, and then the sun goes away, then you got to bring in a giant light and bring the sun back.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
That's
shooting
cool.
so shooting on stage is always preferable. It's easier for everyone. It's more comfortable. They can do temperature control if it's hot out, if it's cold out, stuff like that. So I have a funny feeling they have
snacks.
Yep, places to sit. It's covered. You're not getting wet. The amount of times I stood on set in a rain gear in Portland, Oregon, getting soaked standing next to a car because that's just we were in the woods and it was 42 degrees. Not as much easy as being on stage and standing there in your shorts and your t-shirt because I got the heaters flying.
Yeah. Cool.
So, but I have a funny feeling they have both. They have a practical restaurant and then they have a stage restaurant, and they're both the same. And the stage restaurant also, they can kind of fake it in a way where it looks small, but it's big so they can get all the equipment through. There's some trickery in when they design and build sets.
Sure. Interesting.
The camera makes it look smaller. But if you go there, like if a normal walkway is like 4 feet, they'll build it 8 feet so they can get all the gear through.
Yeah.
And then when they shoot it, they kind of shoot it halfway so it looks like it's only 4 feet because you don't see that the cab. You just know that like the dessert station's here, even though the dessert station's way over here.
That's cool.
It's all trickery, yeah. So I have a funny feeling they have both. Sorry, that was a very long answer.
Fun fact of the day from Jeff.
Fun fact of being on set. So that's one thing I thought of was that to take us out of the scene for a minute. I'm sure that was on stage somewhere so they could control it. Because if it was the entire episode, it took them a week to shoot it.
Okay.
Yeah. It took them about, I don't know if it was a whole week, but it was at least 4 or 5 days because that's just how production works. Yeah, but this might have gone faster, though, because there wasn't a lot going on and there wasn't a lot of costume changes and there wasn't a lot of people. So they may have shot this pretty fast. But but you got to get the camera. You got to remember in that scene when Carmy's talking and the camera's just his head. They're 3 feet from him is a giant camera crew. There's this giant guy with a steady cam, and there's a focus puller right next to him pulling focus. And there's a sound person right there doing sound. Like he's standing there, and there's like 5 other people standing around him.
Yeah, so we've done some video. We've done some video productions for work, and I was on set, kind of organizing everything, and I couldn't believe all the equipment they brought.
Yeah,
so much stuff.
Yeah, that was just a video shoot. I'm not putting it down, but I'm like, you imagine like lighting an entire street?
No. Yeah. No. Well, sometimes I'll drive through downtown Los Angeles and all the Coyote trucks are out there and everyone's working and they'll close off streets or, portions of streets, and you'll see all these vehicles from the 70s lined up and all this camera equipment and lighting, and it's really cool. I always try and poke my head in and remember what I see. So I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe I'll see this in the future in a movie. I was
You're like,
trying
I
to
drove
remember.
by that.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, uh, dark brown cutlass. Remember that, Amy, in downtown Los Angeles.
Dark brown colors.
But, I won't.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You actually just might. Every once in a while, I'll be like, this looks familiar for some reason. And then
I
you're like,
think I've
oh,
seen this.
yeah.
That's funny.
But, but thanks for anyways, back to them being amazing and stuff like that. How about I know it was one scene, so basically there's no scene shout outs, but any moments from the scene that stuck out to you?
Wow. Just all of Carmen's just admitting and trying to do the right thing, and him finally admitting that he didn't love it anymore and he has nothing to draw or pull from. Because I would imagine that profession, you draw a lot from creativity and what's happening around you. I mean, look at Marcus. Everything he sees and does brings him some type of creative, joy and inspiration. And Carmy's just not feeling that and hasn't for a while. And the fact that he admitted that to Sydney, I mean, we knew it was coming, right? I think I never would have thought he was leaving, honestly, unless you had said it. So this has been in my brain, and I'm like, he's gonna say it this episode. But the fact that he admitted that was, and he said, well, you love it. And she said, yeah, of course I love it. I just thought that was that's a big one.
Yeah. To have someone who dedicated their life to something, even though he kind of admitted it was running a little bit, he still dedicated a lot of years to it. And to think about it and be like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's a lot to a person. Like that's a lot. Like, I mean, it was always, when I was growing up, and now people joke about midlife crisis, things like that. I don't think it's a midlife crisis for him, but I think it's truly it's time for the next
act.
It's
an identity crisis.
It's an identity crisis. And he's like, I'm ready for the next act, whatever the next act is. I don't know what it is, but I'm ready for it.
But he does say that he's not pulling from any joy and he doesn't know anything other than the kitchen, and that he wants to go and figure that out, and that he is created. He hasn't dealt with all of these things in his life, particularly Mikey and things with his family. He hasn't confronted that stuff, and he's trying to. So there's still hope for me. I don't know if maybe he'll work through those things and he'll get that inspiration back, because something that you love that much, even Sugar says it in a few episodes ago where she was like, you were so inspired, right? I feel like you can get some of that inspiration back. So maybe the next season he'll be working through some of those roadblocks and confronting all of that, and then come back even better. I don't know.
Answer. I have the answer. You ready for the answer to help him?
Okay.
Save him? You know what the answer is, Amy?
You're going to say Claire.
No. I mean, Claire's amazing. But that's not my answer.
Okay, what is it? Yes.
Sandwich window. Put him in the sandwich window.
Put him in the sandwich window.
That'd be fun. It's so low stress. He can just make great sandwiches.
I mean, and it is what his brother did, so maybe.
That's right. He could go back and just do a sandwich window. These around the restaurants, on the people who love him. Ibrahim could still run the thing. He's not to be in charge. He could just go run sandwich window and yell at the Chicago boys.
Yeah, so him and Sydney just kind of working through all of that. I don't know. So this episode made me sad.
Yeah. But in classic Bear styles, they hook us. They left us on that note of we're coming back. There was definitely I appreciated that they didn't really wrap anything up, which I loved, because that means we get more.
The fact that you told me that they renewed for another season is the only thing that's been keeping me going this way.
You're like, come on.
I mean, I have more, but I think we should go 1 and 1.
Oh, okay.
Since it was one scene,
Sure. Okay, so I have a list. I enjoyed when Sydney tried to start smoking and she's terrible at it, and then And then she goes, "You want to hit?" And Carmy's like, "Sure." And he takes it. That was a very big pull off of that cigarette.
He
It
quit.
it was a huge pull. It wasn't
Yes.
just like a here you go. It was like you like let it in there. It was like a good 10 seconds where he was just pulling that thing down.
He's like,
It
I've been
just made
waiting
me
months
laugh.
for this.
I was just laughing. I was like, oh my God. And then yeah, and then I love when he was like, "You're not good at smoking." And she's like, "Don't worry, I'll get good at it." Like Sydney was so mad at him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a DeQuetza quote too. I'm mixing in some quotes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love the big pull on the cigarette. And then let's see, where's my other ones? Where's my notes? Oh, and then the one that like crushed me but made my heart sing was any chance of good in this building started when you walked in. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
And you're the only hope to keep it going. Well, and then when she says, "Oh, you think you're better than Shapiro?" And Howie says, "Yeah, I smoke him." And then he says, "So do you." And she just like doesn't believe him for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, I think a couple episodes ago, she has imposter syndrome, I think.
Oh yeah, she totally does.
Mm-hmm.
Where she's definitely great at what she does. She's got great ideas. She makes beautiful meals.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the roadblocks. He talked all about the roadblocks and, getting in the way of things and trying to not deal with it. So he's trying to dig in there. And I think that I appreciate is that I think all these people need like to go through all of them need roadblocks to go through. And like, there was a moment there where I was like, everybody needs to get a little more grace happening in this kitchen because it's just like they're all trying.
Mm-hmm.
But trauma is not something you heal overnight. So, so it's like I think they all need. I feel like the bear needs to have a counselor come in like once a week for the whole kitchen.
Kidding.
They need to have like a circle of trust,
a sharing circle. Yeah, but I think this all definitely needed to happen. I also liked obviously Sydney was really mad and she thought that he was just gonna leave without making it better and just them talking over each other and yelling. But one thing I liked that I noticed after Richie came in and they started having their thing, you can kind of see a shift in him from going from just anger to like big brother. It like shifts. And I know they're not like real family, but they are.
No, forget about it. They are. No. Family's not always blood. Sometimes it's chosen.
Right. And you can see it in his eyes just kind of shift to big brother mode. Where it's like, oh, we're putting our hearts out here. And he feels bad. And then they finally start to admit to each other, I resented you. You left and you were close with Mikey and you got all that time with Mikey. Carmen says this to Richie.
Yeah.
And he was resentful of him for getting all that time with Mikey. And then when Richie starts admitting, like, I tried to help him. I tried to save him. Oh, that was just so heartbreaking where he saw his friend struggling and he stayed at the beef to try and make it better for Mikey.
Totally. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree with you. That was the part where I don't think Carmen knew what Richie was carrying because, that group doesn't talk to each other. They need to really start talking to each other more. And it was just, I agree with you. It was like the shift on that whole scene when he was like, it was my fault. When he said, it was my fault. I failed.
That's why he thought he didn't come to the funeral because Richie thought that Carmen thought that he failed. And that's why Richie thought Carmen didn't come to the funeral, which is just like, this is just a masterclass in how important communication is.
What? I agree. Yeah, because it's like, no, you never know what someone's thinking until you ask them. Never. And you can make stuff up all day long in your head, but you will never know what someone's thinking until you talk to them. And it sounds like they all had different, Carmy and Richie both had different feelings on what was going on at that time, and they were both completely wrong. They were bad at the predictions game. Very bad.
Yeah, when really it was just two cousins that were doing the best they could in a shitty situation. And, they would have had a lot more understanding of each other had they just talked about it. But obviously, we wouldn't really have much of a series.
We wouldn't have a show.
Everyone.
Season one just would have ended with them all hugging and being like, all right, let's go.
Right. So funny. Oh, we're so happy we make sandwiches and gourmet food.
Yeah. Hooray. No more shows. No more seasons. Wait, you want 3 more seasons? Okay. Stop talking, everyone. We need to have this steam for a little while. Smolder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh. And
And
then
then, oh, yeah, go ahead, you.
you go.
Oh, okay. And then Natalie comes in at the end. And I loved Natalie because everybody was yelling at
Yep.
everybody else. And then Natalie came out. And then Richie just goes, Carmy went to Mikey's funeral. And the way her face just changed from like, what the F are you all doing out here? Because she's kind of the
Yeah.
mom of the group.
Mm-hmm.
To then just being like, didn't say a word, didn't ask for any questions, didn't look for any, like, wasn't about her.
Just
It wasn't
hugs
about,
him.
she just went straight to him and hugged.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, like, you need this. God. So
I know.
So,
I felt the same way. I'm like, everyone's.
It got me on the episode. It's getting me now. Okay.
It did. Everyone's coming in hot. Sydney's yelling at him.
Yep.
He's yelling at Sydney. Richie comes in and he's yelling at him. They're all yelling at each other, and Sugar just looks at him. But I think that jumps back to when she said it's okay if you don't love it anymore. And she was kind of feeling that as a sister, that he was feeling that way. And then he finally admitted it. And I wrote down in my notes, she gave him the only thing he needed in that moment, which was a hug.
Yeah. It was a hug and acceptance, just grace and acceptance.
I understand.
And that, that you're finally, and that I think too, I just thought of this now, but it's also too, like, I think everyone does their grief differently. I think he's finally processing that Mikey is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And he might have done, he already knew he was gone. Like, Herman's not stupid, but I meant, like, his emotions are finally, he's cutting through all the mounds of problems. Like his mom, I feel like he kind of cut through his mom's problem.
Mm-hmm.
They're still healing there, but I mean, there's not much more to say. Now it's just like, do they forgive each other or not? That's kind of where they're at. And so he's kind of cutting through them one by one. I think he's finally gotten to the big one, because that's always the one you put to last. And so I just, that killed me.
I also like that, Richie is thinking that Carmy's out living his best life, because obviously he hopes that for him.
Right.
And he even went out and got a French laundry cookbook to, like, understand what Carmy was doing. And Carmen's like, no, that was not the life I was living. So it's so funny when someone leaves and you hope, like, oh, I hope they're, like, doing this, where he was talking about the road trip with Mikey and how it's just like two dudes hanging out and they're best friends. But I just,
Yeah, I love that he just called that book. I forget the exact words, but he was just like, that book's chaos. And
he said the Westlers.
What was it called?
He said that's not a cookbook. That's a Westlers, I think, intelligence exam.
That must be something in Chicago where they make the kids do it in school.
Yeah, maybe.
Must be something like that.
And then he said something about, like, diagrams or stencil diagrams or something.
Yeah. I had one small thing too, where I just said I don't. And then when Richie said he was going to leave, I think there's a part of him that was fearful if he left, he would not come back, and maybe he was worried that he was messed up like Mikey, and he wants to keep an eye on him. So you can't leave because I have to keep an eye on you because I'm in charge. I'm keeping the family alive, and it's like, in every situation in that sense, there's always a protector when someone passes. There's always like the one who's just grieving. And Richie definitely took on the protector moment in that family. Like he said, I was like, when he died, I love your family. I was trying to, like, that's the sense I got, that he was like, I was trying to be part of the family and protect everyone. And
and how Carmen was reassuring him, like, they love you, right? Like, you're part of this family. And he's like, yeah, but I'm just a cousin. And he's like, no, you're more than that.
No.
And I think Richie really needed that reassurance.
Mm-hmm. Of course they do. My God, Natalie loves him. You can tell when Natalie and him talk. Like, they just love each other.
That's a sibling. That is a sibling.
Yeah, that's sibling. That's sibling 100%. So, I mean, so it was awesome. The only problem I had with this episode, no Maddie Madison, no Chucky, but I can let it slide. For this good of an episode.
Can you imagine a little robot coming in and they're like, while you're having this serious discussion, I'm just going to drop off sandwiches.
You're saying, these were ordered for you by Natalie. Here's some sandwiches. Maddie Madison comes around the corner. I don't know what to do with my hands. Maddie, go away. Yeah. I don't know what to do with my hands. These are fancy people. Oh, we love you, Maddie Madison.
Yes.
All right. So favorite quotes? Any favorite quotes?
We mentioned that you're not good at smoking. She said, I'm going to get good.
That was hilarious.
I loved it when Carmen said, "Sid, you're everything I'm never going to be."
Woo! Yeah.
She's a good leader and organized and all of these things,
Mm-hmm.
but oh, he just sees so
She's
much in
more than a
her.
chef.
And then when he said, "I believe in you more than I've ever believed in myself because you were the bear."
Woof.
Oh,
Right?
right in the
Goosh.
heart.
Yep. You
And
are
she's
the
looking at
bear.
him like, "How do you know?" He's like, "I know." She's like, "What if I can't?" "You will." Like, oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
So intense.
Yep. Yeah.
And
I think in
she,
the
you
end,
know, she lacks confidence, right? That's her whole thing.
yeah, that's her thing.
She's afraid of failure. She's not, she knows what she's doing, obviously, but she just,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, just can't get out of her own mind to realize it.
Yep. I understand. Yeah, I agree. Hopefully that's what
Um,
season 5's all about. Her kicking
ugh,
butt.
I hope so. Okay, I
Season
don't want to take them all
5.
because it was just one scene, so I want to hear some of yours.
And it's not really a quote, but we didn't really touch on it, but how she included Richie in the
Yep,
fair side of their agreement.
she
And
did.
because he's front of house, man. He's front of house.
I mean, he's
He cares
just
more
as
about the restaurant than
invested.
any of them. Yeah, he cares about the
Mm-hmm.
restaurant almost. I would almost put him up there as, like the 3 people that she names on that thing are the 3 people that care the most about that
Yes.
restaurant.
Well, and that makes sense, right? You have a chef on there, you have front of house on there,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have Sugar who's running operations. Like that
Yeah.
completely makes sense in a partnership. You need to
What I
have
agree.
each of those spaces heard in order to have a successful company. So
Right.
that made sense to me. Um, I also liked it when Richie came in and Carmy said he was retiring, and he said, "You're retiring. You're 12."
He's like, fat chance. You're 12.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Richie saying, "Sydney, stop that. You don't smoke." And she's like, "Who cares right now?" But
Yeah.
there's just so many emotions going on. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, how am
I
I
watched it
writing
this
this all
morning
down?
and I was like,
Me
oh, this
too.
is good. This is a good Sunday morning gut punch of the day. I watched it today for the first time.
Yeah,
I
me
was
too.
amazed.
Me too. I waited.
Yeah. I waited too. I waited all the way up till this morning and I'm glad I did. It was delicious and beautiful and heartbreaking and
Mm-hmm.
it also makes me very hopeful. So, well,
Yes.
Any predictions for next season?
I think obviously Carmen's going to be prepping the restaurant. I don't know. I think the sandwich window thing's going to happen.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's just me not willing to accept it, but I'm just hoping that maybe by figuring all of this out and giving it to Sydney, Richie, and Sugar, and I'm just hoping that he finds that spark and inspiration again, and it's not the end for him.
Okay.
That's what I'm hoping. I don't know. What
Sometimes
about you?
I agree. I think I hope he finds Spark too, but I don't know if he'll. I'm still on the team that he's got to go to come back. I feel like he needs to get out of there.
No, I think so too, but
Yeah, but I hope he finds his way somewhere, either back at the Bear or cooking somewhere. And it can be a simpler menu. It could not be in the Michelin star world. He could be slinging cheesesteaks for all I know. But getting back to that loving people, taking care of people, the beef window energy, that I feel like he'd be better off like slinging cheesesteaks and getting yelled at by a bunch of people all day. The way Richie talked about how he misses the beef.
yeah,
Beef
that
energy.
vibe. It was a
That
vibe.
vibe of the chaos, the vibe, the running around. But yeah, I still think he's gonna go. I still think he's gonna go.
Maybe our Doctors Without Borders with Claire Bear and him cooking in some foreign country is still on the table.
I'm telling you right now, he could just run some kitchen at the villages where they have a hospital. I mean, that would be amazing. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, that would be cool. I just know I'm just glad that next season's going to involve Claire and him. I'm sure that's hopefully that comes up.
Yeah, I just don't think when you find that kind of passion and that kind of drive for a specific thing that that's fleshed out completely. I just think he has like whatever the equivalent is of writer's block because he's going through all these emotions and all of this stuff. I think there is a block in his brain and he's realizing it's affecting everything else. Obviously, we know this, but I think somehow he's going to figure out how to unblock that and we will see him again.
I think Richie will help him with that. I think Richie's idea of him saying with Richie was this is family and we should just take care of people. I think Carmy got away from taking care of people and just making it all about the scoreboard.
Yeah,
It was it turned into very scoreboardy. and I don't think you can do anything for scoreboard.
Well, I
Anything
mean,
creative.
sometimes with grief, right? Like sometimes you get hyper focused on something,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to hyper focus on that thing to avoid your grief. So,
Right.
yeah, now that he's finally not doing that, oh, what's gonna happen, Jeff?
I don't know, but I'm excited. We have to wait forever though, which is sad.
It's so long. What are we gonna
So
watch
sad.
next? Oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about it. I'm so sad. That's
I
why
know.
I know I wear black a lot, but I was like, do I have some kind of hat and like a veil to go over my face? Do you like mourning black to be upset about this?
Well, and it's like when you finish any show, there's always that day after you finish a series, and you're like,
Show hangover.
"Yep." And nothing is good. Nothing. You like, let's try this. Oh, I don't want to watch this either. I don't want to watch this either. So it's like you have
Every
to take.
second doesn't count in this show.
No, no. I want all the seconds to count. I want more of them. Bring them back.
Oh, should we do like an overall season feeling?
Sure. I didn't write anything down for that, but I'll try.
Me either, but
okay. Overall, I liked it better than last season. I felt like they're getting to the meat of their sorrow and their soreness and their whatever's blocking all of them, whatever's causing all the fighting. They're cutting through it. So I feel like they've cut through it enough now to where like next season they can build and make the bear great. Because I feel like that restaurant can make it. It's not that big. I mean, I don't run restaurants. I don't know the math of this stuff. I mean, I can be totally wrong. Someone who runs a restaurant can be like, Jeff, you're totally insane. It's incredibly hard.
I'm sure.
Like, you are totally correct. It's incredibly hard. I agree with you. But I feel like that restaurant, the size of it is just not that big. Like, I feel like they finally get like 2 or 3 signature dishes, and then they have daily add-ons.
They can do it.
They can do it.
Well, yeah.
And
I mean,
they got Marcus with the desserts being in Food and Wine. Tina's cooking meals under 3 minutes. I got the sandwich window that's probably bringing in at least some money. That's positive.
Helping him break even.
Yeah. So, but I think overall, I liked how they everyone cut to the bone. So that's why I liked it. It took 10 episodes, but I liked that everyone cut to the bone. There's times in life where I've personally been in situations where everything's bothering me, and I finally just cut to the bone, and then you just feel so much better afterwards.
You do. Well, this whole season was what Jeff would say, that everyone was
what? I don't know. Growing and learning.
Everyone all season was growing and learning. There wasn't one obstacle that people were like, oh, I think I need to face this. With Sugar and Francie and Claire and the bear and Richie and Carmy and Sydney and her father, Sydney and Shapiro, Sydney and pretty much everyone, and then Carmy and everybody too. Like, it was a total growing and learning season where everybody's like, this is real. We are a family. We need to be here. Oh, shoot. I need to confront my demons.
Yes.
For everybody.
Let's cut through it and get to it.
Yep. Oof. I'm so sad that we are not watching this anymore. I'm so sad.
Oh, no. Not episode 11. Oh, yeah. That's true. Oh, sad face.
Sad.
So sad.
So for those of you listening, Jeff does almost like spirit fingers down the front of his face.
Like I'm crying.
It's like tears.
Blah, 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 blah.
That's Jeff's crying noise.
Yeah, that's my crying noise when I'm like, I watched this movie and the whole time I was just blah 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 blah. When you go on the transcription, the automatic transcription for our website that takes care of our recording, it was just like half a page of blah 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 blah. It was hilarious. It was like blah 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 blah. And I was like, so we're doing a lot of that blah 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 blah. There's some more for it. That'll be great when I go to edit. Yeah, the blah 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 blah.
So, thanks Hulu.
Yeah, thanks Hulu. Thanks FX. Thanks. Oh, I have one fun music note.
Oh.
So the credit song. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh, no. You keep going. I was gonna say we didn't talk about how the clock was at the end.
Oh, the clock was 0. Yeah, but we all knew that was coming.
I know. Okay, so tell me about the music.
It was an interesting way to do it, where it was like it beeped down to like 0.
Like, oh man.
Beep, beep. That was. And they showed the kitchen all ready to go. I think it's. I looked at it as like it's. We're done. We cut through it. Ready to go. Yep. Let her rip.
I verbally said these jerks out loud when that showed.
Someone should go in there and just unplug it and throw it in the dumpster.
Okay, Jeff, tell me about this credit music, sir.
Credit music. I looked it up because I love the music team at FX or Hulu or whoever's doing your music. You're amazing. We love you. The music was called Slow Disco by St. Vincent, and it explores the feeling of being caught between two paths in life. One that feels comfortable and familiar, and the other one that is more alluring, but potentially more isolating. Music team, come on. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Wow.
That was one person's description of that song.
I'm going to listen to it again.
Yeah, Slow Disco by St. Vincent. There's two versions.
Then I'm
There's
going to go
Slow
cry
Disco,
in the
which is the original song, and then she reworked it, and it's like slow, fast disco, where she changed it a little bit. It's about her own life being like two people. She's like on stage and off stage. I read a whole thing about it. Like, this person's fascinating. The St. Vincent person. She like used to sing as another name, but then St. Vincent is the name she made to do these songs. There was an album. There was all of it. I was like, wow. Once again, music people, you're amazing. I loved that. Slow Disco by St. Vincent. There's only one song in this episode that you can notice. Yeah, which is surprising for the Bear because they love their music.
Yeah, they just took us in that little back corner and was like, you just stand here and I'm going to punch you in the gut for 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Here comes all the punching. And the punching and healing. Punching and healing.
Punching and healing.
Yeah, punching and healing. But yeah, that Nally hug killed me. Just killed me.
Oh. Just so much accepted. Such love from a sister. You know, she just wants him to be happy.
Yep.
Ugh.
Well, thank you, Bear. I think for the next couple weeks are we gonna try and do some lights, camera, answers? A little more lights, camera, answers?
Yeah, so I think we need to we're gonna have a little bit of a Bear hangover for a little while. So I think we'll feature some lights, camera, answers shows.
Figure out what those are gonna be.
Yeah, if you guys want to check those out, those are more for if you're not following a show, you can get to know a little bit about us and what we like and our opinions. So check those out once we release them, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yep, and those are great for sharing too. Like if you have people you're like, I like this show, you should check it out. That's a great one to share. Any of those. There's about 6 of them, I think, right now. But any of those are great to share with your friends or whoever and be like, check this out. This is kind of funny or whatever, because they don't have to have seen anything.
Yeah, it's just more like silly, like what's your favorite this and what's your favorite that?
Yeah.
And we just have a discussion. So anyone can watch those.
Yep, definitely. All right. Well, let's see here. If you're still here, blah, 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 blah. That was a mini cry. Blah, 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 blah. If you're still here, come on, like and subscribe. We thank you. You know what? I'm not going to mention that today. I'm just going to say thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. We enjoy doing this. We hope you enjoy listening to it.
We do.
We will so miss the Bear. But here we go. Onward and upward. As my mom used to always say, onward and upward. Amy?
Yes.
She's like, I'll be over here in the corner for a minute next to the dumpster. Maddie Madsen! Yay, Maddie Madsen! We love you, Maddie. We miss you.
Okay, guys. Really sad.
Amy, sign us off in the saddest way possible.
Thank you for rewinding with us. Toodaloo.